A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able.
This is Star, see out. Star, copies all, go ahead. Message to observer, Alpha 3 round,
To enforce travel and movement restrictions, security checkpoints will be placed throughout your city and strategic areas. If the emergency is bad enough that segregation of the population and tight movement control is necessary, you could even see entire streets closed off and neighborhoods get barricaded. This will be done in order to ensure that there are only a select amount of avenues of travel through a city, which can be all overwatched by a series of security checkpoints.
Make a curfew, especially left for me and you, the trace of
And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, saying, If thou hadst known, even thou, at least in this thy day, the things which belong unto thy peace. But now they are hid from thine eyes. For the days shall come upon thee, that thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee. And they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got a question for you. If you were in a community that was not cooperating with the ruling authorities, how quickly do you think they could isolate? I don't mean one person. I mean the entire community. I'm going to tell one side of the story. You better hope the Russian Spetsnaz don't do it. John Moore has really good information on this. I've interviewed him on this point, and he's a great interview. John said a team of 8 Russian Spetsnaz could take down the entire power grid and stop water in a city the size of Phoenix, which is a little over 4 million people. And they could do it in 20 minutes. What? Yeah, oh yeah. That's how devastatingly quickly this can happen. Now think about if an area was in rebellion. And this goes back to the old continuity of government, too, from the 1950s, where Eisenhower had the interstate highways built, not so you could travel freely and quickly, but he put them so we could have transportation in times of war, quick, rapid transportation. They also came up with what you would do with a city that was in rebellion. You'd encircle it, you'd cut it off, and you'd stop them from functioning. Oh my gosh, what would that mean? No just-in-time deliveries. You'll be starved into submission on the second day. Your stores will be empty. Then the people start preying on you, each other. That's right, they stop all commerce from going in, coming out of the city. Didn't know that, did you? How quickly can they shut down a city? Well, they did an experiment in 1985, I believe it was. I think it was 85. They practiced shutting down Phoenix, which at that time was a little over 2 million people. And they found they could do this in under 30 minutes. They did the same drill again about 15 years later in St. Paul, Minnesota, and they found that they could shut the city down in about 20 minutes. They could isolate. Nothing in, nothing out. Tick tock, how long do the supplies last in the stores? Well, Hurricane Harvey showed us not longer than a day. Okay, so that's one. They can shut down traffic. 2, if the next step with continuity of government procedures is to take away communication. So, internet kill switch. There's a really good article on Activist Post, and gosh, I am sorry, I don't remember the author or the title, but you'll find it, when you look for it, you'll find the subject material. And they went through country by country and said, do they have internet kill switches? Yes, they do. Here's how they did it. And they featured like Iran and Egypt and so forth. And then they landed on the square of the United States, but they didn't talk about continuity of government. And this is where most of this power resides. They did mention a 1932 law that's wildly unconstitutional, that the government thinks they have the right to do this, but it's codified under continuity of government. Gosh, I forget, the Defense Restoration Act, I believe it was called. So anyway, they'll cut communication. That means internet gone. Instant. Here it is. There it goes. Seconds. Cell phone communication. Here it is. There it goes. But most people don't have shortwave. Most people don't have sat phones. I'm debating whether or not I should admit to this or not. But no, I'm not going to admit to this. Read between the lines. So how long would it take to shut that stuff down? Seconds. Seconds. Power grid down. Now you're really helpless. And fear, panic, and violence will rule the night. They'll beg for the troops to come in. Beg. But the troops don't want to go into a hostile situation. They'll let you guys fight it out, duke it out, make you totally vulnerable, starve you to death. Oh, in about 3 days, all hell is breaking loose. That's how quickly they can shut you down.
Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.